Nigeria's Debt Management Office concludes today's Treasury bills market primary auction. Traders at UBA say spread tightened as system liquidity improved with some slight interest in the long-dated papers earlier in the day. Dumebi Udegbunam, a fixed income trader at UBA, joins me now for this conversation. Thank you so much for your time today, Dumebi. Interesting times we're looking at, but I'd like to get your assessment of what we saw play out at the primary market auction today.
Good afternoon, Kenneth. Thanks for having me. So the market has been quiet, I beg your pardon, with little or no trades. They all focus on the primary auction with views of, an upward trend in rates as we've seen in the previous auctions held. We'll start from the bond auction. The bond auction saw the first rise in rates from the previous 2035 at 6.94 to 8.74. The 2045 too went from 7% to 8.95. Then we moved to the primary auction, the previous one before this. We saw rates go up at the long end from 1.5 to 1.2. Then we moved to the OMO auction. We saw the largest rise in rates for about 500 basis points from 1.51 at the 182 days to 7, and at the longest from 5.7 to 500 basis points increase to 10.1. This is a clear sign that the government is moving towards higher rates due to our drop in FDI inflows and also where we stand in our inflation rates. Inflation right now is about 50.78 compared to where our rates were before. The real rate of return is negative. So we have to look for the way. So the central bank has looked for a way to try and keep these inflows in. Mind you, as at 2020, we saw the lowest in our capital importation, which fell by 59.6% to 9.6 billion, the lowest we've seen from 2026. Since 2016, I beg your pardon. So all these fears and worries have made them move towards the ideology of increasing rates to, one, try and retain our capital inflows, and secondly, to hedge against the negative real rate of return, which we are seeing from the inflation.
All right, definitely quite a lot of activity in the market this week so far, but you say you expect bonds to remain bearish in the coming days.
So we expect rates. We expect the market to remain bearish because investors are, like I said, looking for higher rates in the markets. If you look at the emerging markets generally, where Nigeria falls under, let's break it down further down to the main countries. That is the first 11 countries to be developed. That is Mexico, Indonesia, Nigeria, and Tunisia. If you look at Tunisia, for example, rates in Tunisia, the 1 year rates there are 15.5%. In Egypt, the 1 2-day rates there is 14%. While back in Nigeria, before the previous increase, the rates there were 5.74. So the competition or the issue lies, okay, how can we retain this rate? So market participants will keep on selling, take advantage of higher yields, while still also demanding for higher rates going forward. Because if you put us among our competitors, our peers in the global market, like I use emerging markets, our rates are not competitive enough. So we might see a lot of forex inflows, outflows, I beg your pardon, to move from that market to other emerging markets, which might not be good, and put further pressure upon the exchange rates. Where we stand right now in the INE window, we saw a first-time high of 422.59 per dollar. First time we've seen in a very long while. So all these worries would move towards increasing rates, and market participants also asking for more rates. So with this, we would see more bearish sentiment. Market participants selling on the back of variation words, while also buying with the view of higher interest rates.
All right, maybe on the anticipated OMO auctions for tomorrow, I'd like to get what your expectations are.
Okay, so we have about 213 which matured on the 9th, which was yesterday. So with the OMO rates, we expect that same trend. Even at the PMA auction, some bids were seen at 10% on the long end compared to where it closed at 2%. So if there might be an OMO auction, we foresee higher rates going forward, probably to close around the previous auction rates at 10.1 to let's say 10.2. But if at all there is an OMO auction, we foresee higher rates too.